They told him, Pastor, your wife is here. Your wife is here. So he opened his eyes and called me. Then I answered. I began to ask him, do you want to leave me and this case and go? That you should not do that. He asked me where is he. I told him Boromeo Hospital, so that I should take him out of this place if I love him, or if I don't want him to die here, I should take him to the doctor at Owerri. As we were going, my husband called me that I should take care of the children and the ministry that he has built house for me, that I should not worry, that I should take care of everything, that there are some people called to go quick, that is among them, that his journey is ended. Then I began to cry now as a widow. And I began to recollect what I will suffer in future. So I was lamenting and crying. They were holding me that I should not cry. I know my conditions. I should hold myself.
When we get to prayer and worship, so that is they say they won't attend to us. The doctor is not about one doctor and one nurse came out to come and check us out. They say that this man have an accident. They say there is no time. This man is already a dead man. To take him to the mortuary. So rush to this St. Louis clinic and met Dr. Joseph, the one we met up there. Then he thoroughly examined him and said he's gone. That it's better we remove him and put him to mortuary. I was told he was involved in a motor accident at Onitsha. When I examined him, I looked at the chest. There were no respiratory movements. I listened with the stethoscope. There were no breath sounds. I tried to look at the heart, the cerebrovascular system. There were no heart sounds, and the patient had no pulse. I looked at the eyes. The pupils were fixed and dilated. I just made an impression right away that the patient was dead, and he should be removed to the mortuary.
I don't know what to do again. My heart ran out of me. I was shouting. And as their village is close to Owerri, I told them, let us run straight to their home and inform his father that his parents is at home. We proceeded to their hometown. Then when we reached there, his father came and joined us.
Then in the night, midnight of that Friday, the wife came here with the dead body. After seeing it, in order to avoid crowd of people, I took him with the wife to the mortuary.
When they brought him in here, he was being brought by his father and the wife. Then there's no life in him, no heartbeat, no any sign of business. They accepted him as a dead, as a corpse. Then after all those, I checked all around the body and the area is so sick. And the Lord gave us the strength to start procedure. Then I sent him in to the second room, the last flat.
The mortuary man took our name. We gave him 1,000 naira to continue his work. Then on Saturday, I left here to Onitsha again to bring home the children and the wife and my own son that is living at Onitsha. I brought all of them home here. As I brought them, we were here sleeping together before the wife cried.
But I began to call upon the name of the Lord. I began to remind God of his promises. And number one, this year God told me in Isaiah 61 that I shall not experience any violence in my home again, that I shall be called the city of the Lord. So when anything that happens, I will hold God on that word. I say, this is one of the violence that have come again, and they promised me that I will not experience them again. Why this one? So that is always motivates me to hold God firm, so that violence will disappear from my way. And another verse that always appears to me is Hebrews 11:35. Women receive their dead bodies to life. So the moment I read this place, it's always put forth in me to hold God and act. So that night, when I remembered all these things, I said, no, it cannot happen. I must do something to prove God again.
On Saturday, when we were sleeping in the night, of my son. For I took him to the mortuary. The woman said that the husband is disturbing her, that they should carry her to Onitsha for a body.
After some time, my father-in-law considered, then both of us, we went to them and planned with them. Before I could come, they have already put my husband inside the gasket, and I was with my first son, this son. So when we reached, I hide inside somewhere so that he will not see the father, because I've been questioning me, where is my daddy? I told him your daddy is in the village. When we reached the village, they asked me, where is his daddy? I told him he's a foundation. So I was receiving the little boy and he was crying. So the moment they put him inside the ambulance, they put me, I ran inside the car in the front side with my son and with his brother. So we started coming down to this place. When we reached at the CRA, I saw somebody and they didn't know if Bonke had come.
Bonke was here on the 2nd day of December 2001 to commission the Kingdom Life was evangelism, which is the evangelistic arm of the Great Ministry. We put out the advert, we even invited people to come that is going to pray for the sick, and is going to pray for the Onitsha people. Then we were on the platform around 1 p.m. Bonke was preaching. Suddenly somebody came to me and they told me that they brought a man with an ambulance, they're coughing.
Both of us were sitting together at the same place inside the church. Before an usher quickly ran in and told us that an emergency. They are trying to bring in a corpse into the church. And we have to run down from the 4th floor down to this place. And coming down here, we met an ambulance car. Already the pastor has already ordered them to go up. And we told the ambulance people to come down here. And I told them, first of all, go and bring the man's wife. I would like to talk with her first. And they now brought her over. And we were just down there at the shade. I was asking her what actually happened.
I felt that the anointing will be so high here, and the anointing will resurrect my husband. That was what I felt before coming down here.
Most of us, we consulted together. I told him that it would be a very good thing that happened, bringing a cup inside the church. And what do we do that wherever we are, that God is, that if God wants to perform a miracle for the man, the place where the man is does not really matter.
Then the security men, because we have security men from the state government and the federal government, the SS people, the mobile police unit, they were there, they ordered the ambulance to stop and demanded that they will open the casket to make sure that they didn't bring in bomb, telling people that it's a death. When they looked at him, it was a coffin, it was a death person. They ordered them to close the casket. Then that was the time our local security men told them to move away with the coffin. Then the wife started crying and said, I believe that he's going to come back to life. Then she started crying. And they were arguing. Some people said, bring him down. Some people said, no. Then some of my people will bring it down. Other people will push it back. Some people, and they were dragging him. Until my son went there and told them to carry him to the church and to get him out of the coffin. That they should not carry him to the coffin into the basement, because the children will be scared that he will run away.
First of all, they should remove him from the casket, which some other boys helped us do. Remove him from the casket down there, just at this place now. And we usually have to run inside the youth conference center. We are looking for a place to lay him, and we brought in these 2 tables, and his head was here while his legs were here. This was the first place where they now laid him.
Then we run the meeting. Bonke finished, he prayed for people. After praying for the people, I took him to the office. Somebody rushed in and said, he's now breathing, that he's breathing, he's breathing. Now he has started breathing bit by bit, that we should pray. So I and my pastor friend, Pastor Luke, who's a friend, we started praying. So when I touched him from the head to the toe, was like a hot fish. presents like this. Even there are some people that snap in the picture. Presents like sight. So we started praying. We continued praying and praying and praying. He was breathing, his breath was reviving and reviving and reviving until some other person go and gathered our boys inside the men of the spirit. When they gathered them, they all gathered here. We are all praying. At times I would say, stop, let us think, and we think and we pray. People were all around this place. They wanted to see. They wanted to know what will finally happen. So we were praying all through. As we were praying, we were even sweating, and we were telling people to go away that he will just this thing. And the wife was sitting down there in the bench. So, and we were just praying and praying. So as we were praying now, suddenly we saw the eyes started, the light started coming in. I said to my pastor friend, Pastor Luke, that they say that he has been in 3 days in the mortuary. Let us massage him. So he was there massaging the right hand, and I was there massaging the left hand. We are just quickly making sure that life, because now we find out that as we are praying, that the heart started, the heart become hot. So as he was breathing, we started massaging the hand. As we massaged the hand, suddenly it seemed that life came into the hand, and we put the hand on the heart and the chest. Now the neck, I massaged the neck, and life came into it. I was able to turn it, but before it was like a soft. I was able to turn it. I figured in mind and asked the whole people that dead man they brought is now breathing. And the father interrupted my announcement and said, although he's breathing, his body is still like iron. Suddenly people shouted for me to turn to see why people are shouting, because they were all there to kill all this place. They want to see. And when they shouted, I saw this man jump up. When he jumped up, I abandoned the person I was with, and I rushed and I grabbed him just like this. When he started breathing, suddenly he jumped up. One of the men in the river grabbed him. Then he looked around. Then they decided to carry him up because people were jamming into the flesh. Then he asked for his fire. I find out that if we keep him here, people may trample upon us. I said, let us take him also and follow through the steps. Take it there. So at the edge of the steps, he said, water. He demanded for water. I was shouting, bring water, let's give him water. And as they were delaying, he was asking me, my side. And I said, that is the why the enemy is using to accuse you. Just too late, you will understand. As we carried him to the pastor of police office under the fan, we kept him there, and the fan was rolling. He was still asking, where is my side? You see. And after we mommy come in there, he said, this here is too compacted. That we should take him to the main auditorium, that he will have enough air. So we take him to the main auditorium. People from suddenly we saw people coming in from the outside. It seemed that the news went in, and people started coming in. As people were coming in there, they saw the same man sitting down. I went back to my village with a ram. I gave it to my father, and I told him I'll be coming back with bags of rice because of Christmas. So on my way coming back, getting to my house, there's a very big valley. The valley is very, very much. So on my way getting to that place, the brake of my car fell. I made this car 2 times a day. So I tried to control the car. I couldn't. And because of how dangerous that place is, that very big pillars they positioned there to weigh the car, not to somersault inside the vehicle. So my
so I had to hit those pillars. I hit my face on the sky. And I remember I was vomiting blood. Blood was coming out of my nose. So, and there was someone with me who was also wounded. So people crowded. I remember they brought me out of the challenge. That was all I could remember. And while I was at the hospital, immediately I got myself, just looked around and saw all the drips and all the things they fixed on me. So I now requested for my wife. And when they brought her, I told her that I wanted to take me to Dr. Omer's daycare as well. Because he had been my doctor. There was a time I was slaughtered. He was the one that took care of me. So I now requested that he should take me to him.
Then we took him out from that place. Off he went to where?
I asked for some other people to go with me. So because of the way I was raised, so I felt within me that something might happen on the way. I now requested that they should please allow my wife to come. So I and my wife was in the ambulance. So at the time, two angels came inside the ambulance. Immediately I saw them, I was afraid. I wanted to say it out what I saw. But eventually, one of them said, just stop it up. So I couldn't talk concerning the angels. But I only told my wife, take care of the church, this and that, and things I felt. When the two angels took me up, so we came to a place that they now handed me over to an angel, one of them. So that one now took me to a place. He told me that we are going to visit paradise. That was what he told me. So I was communicating with him as human being. Everything that I asked him questions, he answered my questions. He was holding me like a friend. So he now told me that we are going to visit paradise. So we now visited a place. When we approached the place, I saw multitude of people that looked exactly like the one with me, that angel with me. The angel with me was having a white apparel. The body was still white. The apparel was still white, but the apparel doesn't look removable from the body. And when I saw this crowd, they were looking exactly like the one with me. So in my heart I said, oh, look at where the angels gathered. That was what I thought. Because I was still having thoughts in me there. So now he told me that this is where the saints that have died, this is where they are. So while I watched them, they were singing praises so wonderfully. You know, it was as if there was a force inside that environment that controls what they do. When they want to raise their hand, they raise it at once. No one will be faster, no one will be late. If they want to bow down, they will just go down to wow. No one will be faster, no one will be late. As if there's a force controlling them doing all the things. I was hearing a lot of musical instruments that I never see anymore. So while that experience was going on, in my spirit, I desired it most to go in there to join them. I even made a move, said no, I still have a lot of things to show you, some those. So after that, we now say, let us go and visit the mansion Jesus promised. And you get what I'm saying? He now took me to a wonderful place. In fact, what I saw there, I don't have anything to describe. It was so glorious. Very wonderful mansion. You look at the building, you look like glass, look like gold, look like whatever it is. Even the flowers there, they are looking like gold. So, you know, when I was looking at that place, he now told me that Jesus has finished the man, but the saints are not ready. He now said, now let us visit her. That was the last visit. Now that's one thing that happened. From the paradise, whatever he said, we appear to the place. We never fly, we never move. Immediately he said, let us visit the mansion. In the twinkle of an eye, I just found a place that looked like that mansion. So from that mansion, he now said, let us visit her. In the twinkle of an eye, we found ourselves the place. So immediately we approached the place. That gate was so deep, so large. They wrote on top of it, welcome to the gate of hell. As soon as we got to the place, the angel just raised his hand like this, waved it down, and the gate opened with a wonderful noise. Immediately the noise, the gate opened, I started hearing lamentation. So I now looked inside, I saw people like us here. They were having the same, they were putting on some clothes, the same place, some are black, some are white. They just looked like us outside what I saw in the other side. So they were shouting, there was a lot of pain, a lot of torment. To the extent that immediately that gate was opened. It was as if they were seeing me. And I don't even think that they were seeing the angel with me because I was standing with the angel because they never asked the angel to help them. They were asking me for help, shouting, and I remember the one wonderful one because I'm a pastor, so that one touched me so much. He was shouting, and I'm a pastor. I only ate such morning that I'm ready to respond. Immediately he just wanted to say, I'm ready to respond this, that I will help. That force that they are commenting, I never see any fire there, I never see any flame. But the comment there look as if people that they are inside fire. All these things the angel was telling me, I was writing them down in a file. The angel gave me a file and a pen. I was jotting all of them down. Even when I walked here, I remember that was the first thing I remember, that file. I asked them, where is my file? They couldn't understand me. So all those things I saw, I jotted them down, but it was later I realized that the file might be my memories and all that. So while I was shouting, asking him for help, he said that I have another chance to go back. He mentioned that the request of the rich man in hell had been granted to this generation. I didn't understand it because now that I woke up, I read the Bible, I realized that the request was, the rich man was requesting that a dead man should be sent back to the world. So he just said that the request of the rich man had been granted to this generation for the last warning. He said to me that he's giving me opportunity to go back for the last warning to this generation.
Well, from the 30th of November, that was a Friday night. It was being brought here by the father and the wife. The Red Rover ambulance. Then when I handed over, they handed me over because they lay him down here for first examination. Then when they left, I filled the forms, every necessary arrangements, I gave them the time. That's normal procedure, and they left. But this is the mortuary, and this is room 2. This is where we laid him. Top of this slide is where we let in. Very nice. So this is the coffee where it was being put from here to Malaysia. Stockings, the leg, the hand, and this. Sunday morning, the wife came down and cried to me, told me that there's a man of God in town. We have a donkey.
Well, it's shocking. Seeing a dead man, somebody that was once dead, is now alive. It's very shocking. And again, looking at the person and almost discussing with him. So God, all glory to God.
Up to now, I'm still afraid of him. Because the experience I saw on Friday and what I'm seeing here today, I think we should give God hand. But I can't believe it. I can't believe it myself.
For that time, on Monday, when he came to my house, he was smelling chemical. He was smelling chemical all over him. But now, I haven't seen such a thing. I know that dead people can be raised to life, but I never heard of people, somebody who has been 3 days in the mortuary. It was a security man that removed the curtain with his nose, untied everything he found. It was too much. It's mind-boggling. When the angels took me from the ambulance, I knew within me that these are angels because I'm a Christian. I've been having those stories and all those things. So when I saw them, I knew that they are angels. So I knew within me that this is death. That was where I stopped knowing anything. I didn't remember my wife, my children, my houses, and my cars, everything about me. So somehow God blessed me. But I didn't remember any one of them. And again, on that Sunday, when I woke up, so I was hearing a lot of voices. When I saw some hands holding me, this one was saying coffin, mortuary, 3 days. I couldn't understand.